really close to getting the trucks all set up. Really close, really close. This is pretty much the one before the last. We're gonna finish this today. So I gotta make this video short today because I'm waiting. Okay, keep losing reception because I'm out in the yard. Okay, so I'm putting those shelves, some of those racks on here. Now this truck is pretty unique because we only use the bed of this truck for tools. So rarely does any debris go back here. So we can line all the doors, the walls, and the other side doors, and the wall in the back with shelving. I don't know if you see that toolbox way back there. That one goes there too, because this truck is always pulling this trailer. Always. It's usually always attached. And I just bought another trailer just like this. So I have two of these now. One will get pulled with the truck I just showed you, and the other one will get pulled with this truck. Always, always. It's part of the setup. So those are my two cleanup crews. They love it, you know. I mean, these dump trailers are like, that's one thing I would have done early on differently, is I would have purchased those trailers a lot sooner. So while I have that other truck here, let me show you something. I don't know how far I can go without losing reception. Okay, so like I said, this truck, we rarely put debris in there. So we're gonna line all the walls and doors with racks for tools. And back here, same thing, easy. We made that truck bed because we were using this one first. We bought this one made like this. That one, we did it ourselves. This one I bought, whereas one side of it, you can dump all the debris in, which is really cool. Since they always have the trailer attached to them, why don't we make it, and we realized this after we made the doors, but that's great, because now we have door on both sides. We'll line it up for the shovel racks and stuff. So anyway, I did order those Green Touch like shovel racks. The problem is, like, I ordered like a couple of more things and they didn't show up yet. So I've just got that to work with right now. But anyway, guys, everything has been working really good so far this year. This is my dispatcher's office, and he is rocking. He did a full week this week, and he did phenomenally well. He's just a killer worker, so that's going to be great. I do have somebody working today. That's why I'm a little late too. By the way, I just want to keep these Saturday lives going. I'm getting a lot of people in the messages saying that they didn't know that this live was on, so I'm trying to keep things somewhat, damn, my watch died, somewhat consistent. Again, today's video may be short, so if you got any questions, put them in there now, and then as soon as I get set up here in a second, I will, try and answer as much as I can or go in as deep as I can. Anyway, this was officially the first week, and because it stormed 3 times last week, we had 3 storms. All right, there we go. It stormed 3 times last week. So this week, even though it was the first week, it didn't seem very, like, I don't want to say organized. I just want to say, like, we were slower going than I thought we would have been like 3 weeks ago. I thought this week we would have been like rocking. What's fuel price where you're at? I think they just went down, believe it or not, but not by much. So last I checked, it's like $3.50 a gallon. A couple weeks ago when I was entering in my GPS, they were $3.81. So I don't know what's going on. So we're at about $3.50 here. Where are they at? What are they at? Where you're at? By the way, what's up, Dan? Thanks for joining me today. Yeah, so we basically had our first week, and things were going pretty good. Relaxing. We're really following numbers right now, which was our goal this year, was to track numbers a lot better than we have in the past. Like almost like we didn't even do it last year. We just kind of like figured out our pricing at the beginning of the season and then kind of went with it and never really tracked it day by day like we started doing already this year. And I'm kind of being annoying about it with the managers because I really want that to be something that's on top of their mind, like every day. I want them to worry about numbers, and I want so that I can focus on employees, making sure I'm there for them, trying to build a, culture that people want to work at. So I'm not sure if my video is freezing or what. I wonder if I could fix all right, so am I freezing, or can you guys give me a thumbs up if my video is good? Because it's freezing on my computer here. And I'm just curious if it's working. Dan says, I'm going to have to raise my prices. Okay. This year with the gas going up. Yeah, so, I mean, totally. So the way I did was I factored in how much gas I spent all of last year. I don't have that number on me now. I'm pretty curious myself what it was. It was pretty high. The video is freezing up. Okay, so I think we're good. We're back to normal now, though. Next time it happens, I may reboot and start again. But I added up all my total gas, which just on the top of my head, okay, we're looking at $3,000 a month, right? So I added it all up, added, like 10% or 15% to that, and then factored that into my new cost for this year. So when a Mo guy goes out and buys gas, we don't actually plug that number in this year. We only plug in numbers like if they bought a tarp, a new rake, things like that. That affects their, I would say, bonus. But getting fuel does not affect their bonus whatsoever. If we see somebody taking advantage or there's an issue, then we'll bring it up to that person. But as far as, every day, day to day, pumping their truck full of gas, it's not going to affect them. That price is already factored. So, is that one of our most expensive? I think that might be one of my most expensive, costs every year. I mean, obviously, besides labor, gas is up there. I mean, a lot of my work trucks, they take I filled up a truck yesterday. It was $120. Damn. And it's just a pickup, a Chevy pickup. I'm kind of curious if anybody knows what's a truck that has a really good gas mileage. When I was entering in my truck's GPA or GPM, I think I was averaging like somewhere around 17 miles a gallon. MPG, there it is. I don't know if I can find that right now. Let's see. Yeah, I can't remember now. I think it was like 17, 18 miles per gallon. I'm getting about 20 miles per gallon on the highway. It really interesting if you really look at that. I have a truck that while I was entering in all of these numbers into my GPS system, one of my trucks only does 12 miles per gallon. Damn. Are you serious? I don't know if will that make a difference in the future? So we do use that truck primarily for snow plowing. It's a strong snowplow truck, but that's not a truck you want to use for mowing. That's for sure. I mean, that'll put some gas in that truck. So anyway, what's going on, guys? How many of you guys went out there this first week and crushed it? So we did okay. I wouldn't say we crushed it this week, but we hit our numbers for the most part. Let me see if I can find that real fast. Okay, so on the March 1st, my garden cleanup crew, there were 3 of them together, and they were making $81.19 per hour. That's how much each member of that team was bringing in that day. So that is considered really good, really good. On Tuesday, they all rode together. So it was 4 guys. They all went together and did a $2,900 job. And it took them all together 26 hours. They were clocked in that day all together. Anyway, they brought in $98.56 per man hour that day. So that I would consider crushing it that day. Now, the next day there were 2 crews. And one crew, there were a crew of 2, and they did $1,400, and they brought in $118 an hour, each person on that per man hour. So they killed it. But yesterday, they didn't kill it. Yesterday, they did $62.34 per man hour. They missed it by $3. So if that crew does $65 per man hour, we're good. We're doing really good. So they just did under, and I could kind of see why. So looking at these numbers every day will force my estimator to kind of realize when she sees a certain job, it needs to be priced a certain amount. And it also lets me know how good everybody's doing. So the other crew, let's see. The other crew the day before yesterday, they only worked 3 hours, like 3.5 hours that day each on that crew. So they must have had, so what happened was, it was a job that only one person knew how to do. So we had him train a guy that's been here for a year to also do that kind of shrub pruning work. And so we didn't actually need 2 people on that day, on that crew, but we did so that he could train the other guy. But because of that, they only did $59.64 per man hour. So that was a bad day, but we called it like a training day. So we kind of knew what we were doing that day. I still wish we would have had another job afterward, but when they came in at 3, I was jokingly saying, I said to the guys, hey, should I give you another job? And both of them were like, no, we're good for today. So that's cool. So it was a short day. We didn't hit our man hour rate, but technically it was day 3 of the season. The first day, I think that was the first day we didn't hit our man hours. And then yesterday, that same crew went up to $69.94, and they worked pretty much a full day. So they hit their man hour rate. They got full day in. So things are going good there. I think I got a question here. The Chevy 2018 1500, I get 11.5 gallons, and it doesn't matter if I'm plowing or pulling a trailer around or just driving around. Yeah, that's crazy. I do need to know what all my numbers are on those trucks, because I was kind of surprised at some of my newer trucks. Like a 2018 only gets 11.5 miles per gallon. I mean, that's crazy. Let me see if I could find these vehicles. I can't remember how I find them. Let me see. Profile. Nope. Damn it. I did this a while ago when I put in my numbers, and I can't remember how I did it. Oh, it's asking me for my login. Again, guys, when Jose gets here, I'm going to have to leave. Okay, so I found where they are. Okay. So I've got 16 miles per gallon with a what the hell kind of truck is that? Damn it, I can't see the name of the truck. Okay, well anyway, I've got a 22 miles per gallon truck. Let's see what truck that is. S2. Can I see what damn truck it is? So my new GPS system, I don't want to go into that again this week, but really accurate. It is freaking accurate. But it does a really bad job of telling me which vehicle is what and when maintenance is due. It doesn't really do that. So unless I enter it in manually, which I think is just stupid. That's one of the whole reasons why you want a GPS system. Anyway, if I remember right, let's see, I do have another sheet here that has all the trucks. Where did I put that? Okay, trucks, truck wrap. Okay. So S2 is a 1998 S10. It's my sprinkler truck. And I'm glad that one gets a lot of miles per gallon, because, you know, my sprinkler tech, he goes all over the county. So that's just a lucky mistake there, that, or cool coincidence. All right, let's see which other one gets a lot of miles. So I've got 22, 19. I got a couple 19s. G4, another old truck. Another old one. So this is a 2000 Chevy 2500. Gets 19 miles per gallon. Another one that gets 19 miles per gallon is an old Ford. Crazy. What year is that Ford? All right, oh yeah, I do have that sheet too. G3 is a 2004 F-150, gets 19 miles per gallon. And it's, you know what's funny is those two trucks that get 19 miles per gallon, they're like the least used vehicles that we have because of their setups. And they're kind of weak, so it kind of makes sense to get a lot of miles per gallon. So I've got one here that does 10. Holy crap, 10 miles per gallon. And that is G2, let's see. It's a 2002 2500 Chevy Silverado. 10 miles per gallon. So that's the one with the pink bed that I showed you that's always pulling the trailer. And since it's pulling a trailer, I bet you it gets less than 10 miles per gallon. Next year, we're thinking that's going to be a snow truck as well because it's pretty powerful. Anyway, let's see if I've got any more questions here. Let me check. No questions. Anyway, I think that this year is going to be good. I was talking to a buddy of mine who I was telling him that, you know, I want my goal is realistic goal is to do 2.5, but what I'm really going to try to do is 3 million in revenue. But I said, you know, last year I had this influx of customers that I purchased. So it was like a gold mine getting these customers or getting upselling, you know, garden work and stuff like that. And so I said, I don't know if I'm going to get that this year because I didn't get that many customers this winter. And by the way, I think if you're trying to grow by buying new customers, what you should probably be doing is keeping in contact with as many business owners throughout the year. Because I did start contacting business owners pretty late, like it was December, maybe even January too, when we started really contacting people. And some of those people were really interested, but it was such a new idea for them to sell me their customers that they had to think about it for a while. And then by the time we started a really good dialogue, we started kind of gearing up for the season. I started losing contact with people, and they also didn't know if they were getting a good deal or if I was, you know, whatever. We didn't have time to kind of go over it because some of these people didn't know that they wanted to sell them until somebody asked them if they wanted to. So going forward, I want to try and do a better job of letting people know that I want to buy their customers throughout the season. And then maybe when it comes to wintertime, I can carve out like a whole month and meet with people and do these transactions. So if you're someone in the Utah County, South Salt Lake area, let me know that you're interested in maybe, you know, doing something else and talk to me about buying your customers. I did have somebody recently reach out to me saying they want to sell me their Christmas light customers, but I don't know where I'm at with that yet because a lot of things are happening with Christmas lights with me, and I don't know if I want to just be bogged down hanging Christmas lights all year or, you know, in the winter time. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with Christmas lights yet. Somebody reached out to me actually and wanted to buy my Christmas light customers this winter. And I still think about that every now and then. Like, what would that be like if I actually sold them? I don't really want to think about it too much because, you know, I enjoyed doing Christmas lights, and so I don't think it's something I want to sell. But, you know, it is kind of interesting to be on the other side and getting that phone call and trying to think about it. So I kind of get what other people go through when me or somebody from the office calls their business and says, hey, are you interested in selling your customers? Do you have a fuel surcharge in your agreements? Not sure how high fuel prices are. Our prices will go. No, it's not in my fuel charge. I don't have a fuel surcharge. What I do is I just add that in my pricing. So I basically add all fuel price that I'm going to spend, so fuel charges, in my man-hour rate that my employees have to hit. So I add up what I spent all last year on gas, both for small engines and all the trucks and all the big mowers. Add all that up, and then I add 15%, and then I divide that out with my man-hour rate. So that's the only receipt that we get from to the office when a mow guy pumps gas in his truck. or wherever, and he sends me the receipt, we don't actually plug that number into his production rate because we already factor that into our man-hour rate. So that's how we do that. And smarter people than me put that spreadsheet together. All I know is it's part of our man-hour rate. So it's all good. We still want to do a good job of like managing. You know, if an employee is like, you know, spending $100 a day on gas, we're gonna look into it and go, what the heck are you doing? Sometimes for snow plowing, you know, guys can spend, you know, $80 a day putting gas in because they're driving all over the county. And those trucks are, you know, some trucks, I guess one of them was 12 miles per gallon. So those prices are pretty high. One of the things I have noticed too is that one of my plow guys drives his own truck because he's been plowing with me for a while. So I hooked him up with a harness, and he uses one of my plows, and he plows, and he fills up more gas than anybody else. Although I have been monitoring it, and I believe he's being honest for sure. But I think that if you let people use their own vehicles, they will tend to go to the gas station a little bit more. You know, they want to make sure they have gas. If their gas card doesn't work anymore, you know, they want to make sure that they have gas if they need to use their truck when they finish plowing. So, but next year we're going all employee vehicles. I've already talked to that guy, and he does nothing wrong. I mean, he's been with me for 8 years, so I trust him. And we're in a good place, especially with this new year, with these new policies. I feel like he's helped me with all these policies, but I feel like the snow plowing, we need that to be in-house with our own trucks for the GPS purpose. You know, I'm actually going through a lawsuit right now, and for snow clearing, and so I'm learning a ton. I'm learning a ton of how to basically, you know, watch your ass. You know, I basically am learning all these things. These lawyers are telling me, hey, you should do this going forward. So if there's ever an issue, you can do this. So, and one of those things is just making sure all the trucks are tracked with GPS. I obviously don't want to track his personal truck. So we do have other ways of tracking even without GPS, and that's what we're using for him, just so that if there's ever a question about a bill or any issue, it's like, look, that's when he was there. You can see it right here. That's when we billed you. So anyway, I'm learning a ton with snow clearing, and maybe after this whole lawsuit thing, I can talk more about it. Something that I plan on doing more of a series on snow clearing for next year, because I feel like I finally figured out a way to make sure everybody's getting paid all year round, and doing snow clearing is like a huge part of that. And it was kind of like a love-hate relationship with me, snow clearing, because it was something that I felt like I had to do. And it was something that I feel like if you want to grow your business, you actually have to offer it if you're in a snow area like I am, just so that, you know, workers can feel secure working all year round and not have to lose great guys because you don't have enough snow work for them. Because, you know, even though it snows here, it doesn't snow enough to really pay anybody, like to make sure that they're there for you every time it storms. Because, you know, if they don't get paid for like 2 or 3 weeks, don't you think they're going to look for another job? Hell yeah. So you have to make it so that they get paid every single week. And I figured that out. I feel like this year we figured it out and we did great. We had guys here all winter working. I did lose one employee because I told him I didn't have enough winter work for him, and he really wanted to work this winter. So, so he didn't work, and he got a job, and now he's a manager at that job, and he doesn't want to leave it. And I told him, I apologize. I'm great. I'm happy for you, but going forward, there is always going to be snow work here. It's funny because this week was the first week, and one of the guys that didn't work this winter because he was new towards the end of the year, and I didn't let new guys take the snow jobs when I have experienced guys who need to get paid every year, who are proven that'll come back and do a great job. So one of those guys that had to get another job, he's back this year because I'm paying him way more than his winter job. But I already told him, I go, dude, next year we have winter, and in fact, if it snows in March this month, like I need you to shovel sidewalk and driveways. And he's like, you got it. So next year I need 3. What I've learned out of the snow clearing as far as workers go is I need 3 residential snow plow guys or snow shovelers, possibly 4, and I need 5 plow drivers ready to go. So I need 8 workers total. Possibly when I mean possibly 4 snow shovelers, that person should probably be helping both crews. And anyway, and as we get more plows, maybe those snow shovelers will get promoted into a plow kind of thing. But anyway, snow is fun. So it doesn't snow very often, but when it does, those plow drivers are bringing in good revenue. And that revenue should just be extra money. And that's what I'll go over next winter when it's time. It's really exciting to know that I kind of feel like I figured out the snow game a little bit. In the office, we call it cracking the code. We cracked the code for snow. So snow is definitely becoming a bigger part of this company for year-round work. But anyway, so my guy Jose's still not here. My phone died. I should have charged it a while ago. What's going on, guys? What is happening? Any questions? I'm just waiting on Jose to come so we can weld and attach some some shovel racks to a truck. And once that truck is done, all we have to do is fix something in the engine with one more truck, and then that truck we'll be able to use it all year round, both for summer services, and that'll be a plow truck. It's small enough so if I get a small plow for it, we can also use it for plowing. I believe it's a 2006 1500 4-door Chevy Silverado. It's kind of funny. I have about half and half vehicles. Let's see how many Chevys I have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that are attached to GPS. I have more that don't have the GPS, but I don't have that number on me. So 7 Chevys are on GPS, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Fords. So I got half and half Chevys and Fords. I used to just be a Ford. I would just buy Ford trucks. Now I have a mixture of both. The problem I have with the Chevys is sometimes the keys don't turn. Like you're sitting there ready to go and you can't turn the damn key. That happens with all the Chevys I have. And I don't know what the issue is with that. I think it's just a Chevy thing. Other than that, they're good trucks. The gas tanks are huge on all those Chevys. I don't know. They just have a different look, both of them. Let's see. Project DIY. I had the same problem with the key. Yeah, I don't get it. So anyway, other than that, everything works great. And I think I'm good on trucks. After I fix these two, I don't think I have to worry about anything other than new issues that arise. So let's see. Have I had a meeting before, or did I do a live after my employee kickoff? I don't think I did. The kickoff was a success. Everybody showed up except for two guys. One of them quit, which I talked about just briefly. The other one is out of the country, and he told me he wasn't going to be there. But his two brothers, he has two brothers that work here, and they're both all three are crew leaders. Well, two of them are crew leaders. One of them I'm going to promote to crew leader this year once I talk to him. He doesn't start till Monday. And I'm going to set him aside and tell him how awesome he is. He came last year in mid-season, and he's a freaking workhorse, man. Like, that guy has the potential to be like the boss out there, you know? And so I want to talk to him about that. And I want to try and get him on fast track to be the crew leader for the landscaping. And I want to talk to him about, you know, being a leader and thinking about that right now at the first start of the season, so that hopefully by mid-season, definitely by next year, he'll be one of the top producing, top paid guys, even though he's pretty new. Jose just asked me if I need anything from Metal Mart. I don't think I do. Oh yeah, I do need, where's my phone? Oh, it's in my pocket. Let me just make a quick text. Yeah, get the trailer pins for the hitches. Get like 5 of them. They're usually at the counter. Okay. Anyway, let's see. So even though he's pretty new, you know, he's only worked here, 6 months, and that's including wintertime, so probably less than that. I want to make him feel like he never wants to quit, and I got to do that early on. One of the things so when I first started, like when we all started, I think we went through our contacts, called everybody, tell them, hey, we got this landscape, lawn care, mowing business. Come help me, I'll pay you. And we probably had some really good workers early on. You know, first 10 employees were probably people you knew, and that would basically take a bullet for you, probably. At least that's how it was in my case. But I couldn't afford to pay them a whole bunch those early days. So recently I've tried calling, you know, not recently, but like within the last 3 years. I've been in business now 12 years, but within the last 3 years, I've tried calling some of those people back who have been like amazing in the early days, and telling them, hey, I can pay you good now. Come back. And you know what? They've moved on to more secure type job that they feel is more secure, because, you know, it's got them through that whole time, and they're getting paid a lot. So one of the things that if I could do differently, if I can go back and do differently, what I would do is somebody that's really helping you out. I'm talking really helping you out. You think that if they had to mow their own lawns without you and they're brand new, I would start them off as high as you can. $20 an hour right away. I feel like obviously things are different now. You know, we've got a team of, you know, we've got 6 mow crews, 4 garden maintenance crews, 3 sprinkler trucks. And so obviously at some point, you know, right now my average employee probably makes $20 an hour. right now, but we have a ton of workers, you know. But when you're just starting out and you're paying one person, pay them as much as you can, man. But if they're good, like good. So that's something I would have done differently too when I first started. It says there's a guy that I just reached out to last year. He used to work for me, you know, I guess it was like 9 years ago. And he was so good, so good. And I just reached out to him, and well, this was last year, and he says that he's got a good job, it's got benefits and all these things. And he's, you know, and I said, well, I just asked him, how much are you making? He's like, it's more than you can pay me. Which, okay, I don't know what that means, but he's probably right, first of all, because I mean, you know, we're just mowing lawns here and garden maintenance and sprinkler repairs. But what I'm saying is, like, if I would have paid him a lot when he first started, even though I felt like I couldn't afford it, I feel like we would have had a stronger team even now, because we would have been, you know, I would have been able to rely and take some stuff off my plate and give them to a field guy, because you know what I mean. So anyway, I think I'm going off on a weird rant there, but that's something, if you're just starting out, or not just starting out, but you have a small team and you want to grow, you need to pay one of your top people so that you don't have to worry about a crew. You could start focusing on another crew, or using that leader to train and move people around. So like right now, you guys may know this by now, but my guy Fernando, I mean, we put a new garden guy in. Like we do the interview here, or we hire him. Once he's in the yard with Fernando, he takes care of the rest. We don't even, sometimes we'll make a suggestion. Hey, this is a perfect garden maintenance guy. This is a through and through maintenance guy. And he'll go, okay, thanks for that information. I'll make sure that we put him in the best place. So he'll start with that. If we give him a good idea, he'll start with that, but then he'll get back to us and say, hey man, that guy just does not like to do this, or this person does not listen to this. So he takes it. So, you know, I try to make it so Fernando feels like this is like part of his business, so he has like some skin in the game. And he does a great job, and that's what we all need. And we have that with sprinkler. I have a sprinkler division. I have a mow division. With mowing, it's a little differently because they kind of go out. There's these different crews, and you don't really have one crew keeping up with the other guys like the gardens do. Because a lot of times garden jobs, they'll call each other and say, hey, I need you to come here, or drop something off here. This job is, you know, I need to unload. I need to fill up a trailer. Will you come by? So those guys are constantly communicating. But with mowing, it's not like that. They have their own route, their own truck, and they just trying to get done for the day. So there's not as much like I need, like with mowing, it's just you got to send them with a crew, and they've got like 2 or 3 weeks to figure out if they can either work with somebody else or go off on their own, or their own crew, you know what I mean? But anyway, and sprinklers is the same as gardens, where you got a new tech going in, and you've got them calling the more experienced guy, so that over time they might need help, and they're always communicating as well. So that's kind of cool. But again, I have a guy in that division that can be like, hey, this guy is not pulling his weight at all. You know, we have ways of tracking it here with man-hour rates, budget hours, spreadsheets, all this stuff, but sometimes that doesn't show the whole picture. A guy could be really efficient getting from job to job, but really bad when he gets to the job. He may take every single minute of that budget hour and maybe still get a service call. So, you know what I mean? you need somebody in each division to kind of mentor people, guide them. And I think once you have that, and you also need that in the office too. So like Rachel, when we have an office person, I mean, she also is just like that. They can call her, let her know what they need. She's also first one to tell me. She also is a little too nice, I think, but in a good way. And once you realize that, then you can kind of like take the information you get from people and kind of work with it. But she'll tell me that, somebody, you know, yeah, we just have to go over the routing again. We've went over it 3 days now. I think we need to go over it again. That's her way of telling me it's not sticking. This person has a hard time understanding computers, I guess. So I have to take that information and then I say, so do you think they'll ever get it? And she'll say, no. And that's basically that's our way of communicating, because she's too nice to tell me right from the start, hey, you need to let this person go. A lot of times she'll be telling me things in a nice way, and then I finally say, all right, should I fire her? And she'll go, oh, that'll be so good, something like that. So I just got another lead. Let's see. Just bought a new house, has sprinklers set up. Was looking for someone to come set up and make sure all sprinklers are good, and if not repaired, needs repairs. So they need an adjustment. Now my sprinkler guy's not here, so my sprinkler dispatcher, so I don't know like when a good day is to tell this customer, so I'm just gonna have to wait or text them and get that information out to them. But yeah, so what's going on, guys? Do you still spray lawns? Steve D. If so, what has been more profitable, liquid or granular fert? So I'm just a liquid guy. I feel like you can get a more diverse mix. Like you can put stuff for the soil. I know you can do that with granular too, but it's so much easier to mix all that in one tank, and then do certain tank mixes on certain days. So like my most expensive, most profitable fertilizer application was done on Fridays. And what I did was I put heavy weed control, and we only did heavy weed sprays on Friday. And then, so profitability, that's more of a liquid thing for herbicide, because, with spray, you can get a faster reaction to the plants than granular, at least in my experience and what I've used and with my area. But on the regular, like program mixes, if you will, I've done granular faster than spraying. So labor wise, you'll probably save on granular, but then there's also the, you've got to carry all that granular with you everywhere. I don't know. I'm just more of a liquid person, and my mixes were always pretty expensive. But I also got creative, right? So I had a plow that I wasn't using, but it was fairly new. So I contacted a fertilizer distributor and said, I'll trade you a plow for 3 months worth of fertilizer. And they did it. So, you just get creative, do what you got to do out there. But I like to I use Green County fertilizer because just a different variety of mixes, and it was so easy to do. So labor wise, that way is good too, because the person, I was mixing it. I was trying to train somebody else to do it, but then I stopped fertilizing. So first part of your question is no, I don't fertilize anymore. I'm in my second year of a 3-year non-compete because I bought some customers from a big company, and in order for me to make the purchase on time, all the money they wanted, I had to sell them my fertilizer customers, and I had to sign a non-compete that I wouldn't fertilize for 3 years. So that's what happened. But I kind of feel relieved, honestly, that I'm not fertilizing right now. You know, all last year, I got a couple of lawn assessment calls asking if I would do a lawn assessment. And we just told them, you know, we're not really doing that because we don't fertilize anymore. So even if we did see an issue, we wouldn't really be able to treat it. But what we can do is send a sprinkler tech out to see if it's a water issue. And so we supplied all the sprinkler techs with lawn plugs. I forgot what those are called. Soil probes. And then we would check if it was a water issue, then we can deal with it. But anything else, you know, I didn't have anybody. I lost my full-time fertilizer tech. Rachel knows about all the lawn diseases too. I don't know all of them, but I know a lot. I know the main ones. I can see what's a problem. Probably in my area, I could probably diagnose any lawn, but I'm still don't feel like I'm the best at it. But since we can't do anything about it or dispatch anybody to go follow up with the sprays, and I'm not allowed to spray anymore, we just rather just stay away from it. So it ended up being a good thing, but we're taking these 3 years focus on gardens and maintenance and mowing and sprinklers. And I feel like at the end of the 3 years, we're gonna look back and go, okay, do we now want to get back into fertilizer? I really do have a special place that I like to do. Like there's a special place in my heart to fertilize. I really enjoy doing it. It's really good margins. The last year we were doing it, we were tracking numbers for the fertilizer tech, and he was averaging $150, $180 per man hour. The guy was super efficient, and we only had one tech. So imagine, you know, if we had 5, you know. So there's definitely huge potential in that. We came through your area this week. We were headed home from wintering in Arizona. Nice. I want to stop and say hi, but needed to get home and start our cleanups. Oh, that would have been cool. That would have been cool. If you would have reached out to me, I love to show people around and, you know, sit and talk and have a drink or something with people that come by. I love to do that. So if you're ever in the area, guys, you want to come check it out, say hey, I'm all for that. Yeah, I had a friend that worked in Arizona. In fact, he sold me a truck when he lived in Arizona. He lives here now, but he had a truck for sale, and I actually sent one of my employees on a plane over there to go get it, and he drove it here. And that's the 2000 Chevy Silverado that has really good gas mileage. Sorry, I got a text. No, sorry, the hitch that locks the hitch to the ball pin. I think I might need to take a picture of something while he's out there. The little skinny one. Let's see if that works. My guy's at the store. I'm trying to get him to buy me something while he's there, so I don't have to go get it later. And I don't know how to explain it. It's the little pin that locks the hitch to the ball, so it doesn't come off. Anyway. grab both since you didn't answer. Okay. That's all right. We probably need both anyway. So let's see what is going on. What else am I doing around here? So somebody did ask me a question, and I answered them on Instagram. What questions do you ask when you're hiring somebody? I think that's like when you're interviewing, and right now, so I was writing my answer and I realized it might be something I'd rather talk about too. I did write the answer and I wrote it and I sent it. And by the way, Jose's on his way, so he should be here any minute. And when he gets here, I'm going to head out and start working on the trucks. But when you're hiring, when you need in a position, you need to imagine in your head what that person is like and what kind of skills you want them to have for that job. That's how you should go into the mindset of trying to hire somebody. I think that'll help you. Like if you're constantly updating what that person is supposed to do and act like, and the way they're supposed to, like just the way they handle themselves is another way of trying to figure this out. So I was looking for a sprinkler dispatcher. So I need somebody that's going to be able to go toe to toe with sprinkler techs who are experienced and who feel like their shit don't stink, basically. You know what I mean? Sprinkler techs are a different breed in this industry. It's a skilled job that, you know, if a manager came in telling an experienced sprinkler tech what to do, there's going to be friction. So you have to imagine in your head what that person is supposed to be like even before you hire them. You also have to figure out, so in my case, I felt like I needed somebody that wasn't going to take any crap from anybody, but was also computer savvy because they need to get online and dispatch everybody. Also, they're going to have to learn Service Titan from the ground up. I want them to learn, their job description is to basically know everything there is to know about Service Titan software. Obviously, they're not going to know that when they get hired, but they're going to need to learn it while they come in every day and get really good at it. So I had that in my mind. I need somebody that's computer savvy. I need somebody that I feel won't take any crap from anybody when they're telling these guys what to do. And I also need somebody that's going to get along with the office staff. So I'm looking, and they need to be able to talk to, like, on the phone as if you're a customer and be able to talk perfectly to that customer. By the way, Jose's here, so I'm probably going to wrap up now. So when I was interviewing people, they'd call and I'd talk to them, and I'm using that. I'm doing first phone interviews because I want to know, like, are they able to talk on the phone good? And this one person kept standing out, so I called him twice because the first phone call went so good. Called him again just to reiterate. I think I even had Rachel call the third time so that she can make sure that I was right. Anyway, we interviewed him here at the office, and he basically said everything. Me and Rachel had to step aside and talk and say, dude, should we offer him a job right now? And not wait. We had one more interview coming in after, and we said, you know what? I'm going to tell him that he's on top of the list, because if you have another interviewer coming in, you should give that person a chance. Funny story quickly, if Jose doesn't come knocking. When I interviewed Rachel, I basically was going to hire her. She was perfect. But then the next interview was somebody that had just tons of experience at the time. I mean, Rachel's been with me for 6 years. So I ended up hiring the other person over Rachel because at the time, Rachel didn't really have real world experience. She had the education, but not the experience. And the other person had both, and she was an arborist. So I went with that. And then things were going so well that I called Rachel back, like 2 months later, and I said, hey, things are going great. but your interview was so good. I want to see if I can hire you now. And she had to think about it, and the rest is history. So it is important to if you do have, not to hire somebody so fast. It is good to wait till you talk to everybody. But one thing I took away from the Landscape Summit that I went to this year, the Mike Andes thing, was when you do treat your interviewees, your candidates like customers. So follow up with them. So I've been doing that with every interview, even if it's just like an interview and I didn't actually hire them. Now, there is a couple of people that have slipped through the cracks because they literally don't have like the total experience, but I do have them in mind and I still can follow up now. I just don't want to give some people hope when there's a small chance that I can actually bring them on. And you know what I'm saying? So, and I've already talked to them during the interview about possibly doing a different job for less pay, and they weren't into that at all. So there are some people that I'm not following up with because I don't want to give them too much hope, because I don't know if I can actually use them, bring them on. So anyway, guys, I'm going to call it a day, and I hope you like these Saturday things that I'm doing to keep consistent. So anyway, ask me some questions on here, and I'll try and answer them next time I do a live, or, follow me on Instagram, Freddy's Lawn Thumbs, and ask me there, and I'll try and pull some of those questions, and if I need to answer them in person. So, all right, guys, have a great week. Talk to you soon.